Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the add-ons and extensions webinar. This is a new webinar in our series here that we've been doing, the Inside Real Estate Success webinars. And what we did this week is we started separating out Conversion Plus, KV Core webinars separately. And in the middle here, we have this add-ons and extensions webinar to dig deeper on some of the options that you have in the marketplace. We get a ton of questions about what's available in both the Conversion Plus and KV Core marketplaces. So we'll take this hour every week. You don't have to feel pressure to come every week, but we'll drill deep on specific stuff. Can somebody please let me know whether or not you can see my screen? Just say, yeah, Ryan, we can hear you. Everything's good. Just to make sure everything is fine. And I'll jump on in here to today's content. Can you hear me? Anybody? Well, I'll assume you can because nobody's saying you can't.
Yeah, I can hear you and see your screen.
Oh, you're here. Cool. So, and Annalisa's here as well. Wasn't sure if I'd have you today, but it's wonderful to have you on.
Thanks.
All right. So what we're going to do today, I'm just going to do the marketplace tour. Let's kick this series off. We'll do a tour of everything in the marketplace, and we'll let you guys ask questions about the specific stuff that we have in here. I have a rough outline on the screen. In case anybody here doesn't know, the way to access the marketplace is on the left side of your dashboard, whether you're in KV Core or Conversion Plus. I'm in a Conversion Plus broker view here. So you would click Marketplace up top, but in the regular agent view, it would be over on the left. And then you're going to hop in and you're going to see these tiles. We are in the process of, over the coming weeks, kind of reorganizing these so they're easier to follow and understand. But in this webinar, I'm just going to walk through the different stuff and follow this outline, okay? So the first thing I'm going to touch upon, Annalisa, is my favorite topic because I deal a lot with this, and that is our done-for-you advertising options. And we get tons and tons of questions about these. And if anybody is on today who is using our Facebook buyer or Google buyer stuff and have feedback or questions, you know, feel free to do that here. But the way to access that is to look for the tile that says Facebook buyer advertising right here. And I will actually open it up in Conversion Plus. It looks slightly different, but it's just right up top, front and center. And what this is a way that you can kind of click a button and have us start running Facebook lead ads for you with where the form pops up inside of Facebook, and it pre-fills with the name, email, and phone of the person who is on Facebook that Facebook has on file. So the effect is that you get really accurate contact info. If there is a downside, it's that a lot of the people who are replying on Facebook, they might not have a lot of urgency to buy or sell a house tomorrow. That said, getting that accurate contact info and getting people to reply to opt in to see a list of properties. We generally do just listed, price reduced, new construction, things like that for you. Getting those people to opt in is a nice way to start talking to them about real estate so you can set the stage for the conversion down the road. And the cost per lead here across the board is pretty good. It's usually in the $7 to $8 range across the country, depending on you know, what your average sale price is. It'll vary. Annalisa, did I cover that one well? What questions do you usually see about Facebook ads?
I think usually it's just understanding how to set your expectations with Facebook ads, because it can take a little bit longer of a time investment over like a Google generated ad, I think.
Yeah, so yeah, it's that intent factor. You know, I'm a little blind to it because I'm so concerned a lot of times with the cost per lead and making sure people are getting the volume they expect. But really on the conversion side, if you have the right attitude, this is a really powerful way to go because you're putting—
It is. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you can build your database super quick, and then just make sure you set up all the follow-ups with the automated AI. And also, Ryan always shares some great tips on just organic follow-ups to help build that relationship.
Gotcha. Oh, this is a new one. Screen is super fuzzy. Make it more clear. It looks good to me. The ad is super fuzzy. Maybe that's the issue. The ad preview. I will put in our doc here a link to our full advertising tour. And Annalisa, I'm going to share this to you so you can share with everybody if that's cool.
Sure.
And then our full advertising tour has the example ads and everything on it. So inside. So think of Facebook as lower intent, but cheaper cost per lead. And I think the quality is good. A lot of times you're putting other homeowners into your database in your local market. It's just a matter of having those conversations, keeping listings in front of them. And I know a lot of people close leads off this, but I do see a lot of people get frustrated that they'll get a lead today and not get much of a response in the first few weeks. And that's kind of the nature of those. Okay, so that's Facebook buyer leads. Google, on the other hand, is going to be more of an intent-based lead, meaning that somebody is actually out there on Google searching real estate. So if I go to Google and I type Tampa homes for sale, this is where we start to show your ads in these sections right here. And I'm actually a little surprised that I'm not seeing one of ours here. This could be one. It's a competitor, and I just cost them a few bucks, so good. No, I'm just kidding. But you guys get the, I feel bad now. I wasn't thinking as I did that. But basically, what our Google buyer leads allows you to do is show up at the top of Google, kind of with the click of a button, and have your stuff show here. So if somebody's actually searching Tampa condos, Tampa homes for sale, there's higher intent, and there's a better chance that they are going to convert quicker. Just in case you're wondering, where they are sent is just directly to a list of properties on your site. So generally the ad will be like, if they search for condos, it'll show them a condo list. They search new construction and so on. A lot of times we'll send to the just listed. So it'll go here, and then the general, our regular pop-up will take over and prompt them to register at some point. Like so. Across the board, these convert at about 10.5%. We have thousands of campaigns going. Just to give you an idea, and the clicks are usually about $1 to $1.50 a piece across the country. So generally, our leads are in the $10 to $15 range to you, but it can be higher in some markets with the Google buyer ads. Okay, so I am going to go fast because we're covering a lot today, and I'll just welcome you guys. If I'm going too fast, just say, hey, Ryan, slow down. I had a question about this specific thing. The next thing that I want to address here, and some of you guys may have seen this, is we get a lot of questions about seller leads. And what we were finding is we had a Facebook seller leads option, and we were finding that a lot of people were putting addresses into the sell page, but they weren't actual leads. It was like the grandson or the cousin or somebody who wanted to know the value of the house. And we had a lot of frustration around the quality of that lead. So we've sort of archived that. If you click Facebook seller advertising, you'll see a video from me. And we're in the process of rethinking that process, coming up with a new approach to seller leads right now. So currently you can't order seller leads off the shelf, but I will say that I personally think that the Facebook and the Google buyer leads actually put a lot of homeowners into your database. And if you approach it that way, maybe follow up and offer a home valuation and do some of the things that'll sift out sellers, you can do that. And we have a whole course about this in the learning portal, which I'll talk about in a minute. Next thing I'll mention is Property Boost. Right here. So Property Boost, and guys, as I'm saying, these are all your sort of easy button ways. Yesterday we did a webinar with Scott Carlton about feeding the beast. These are all your easy button ways to just click a button and have leads start coming into your system. So if you don't want to manually do this stuff, or you don't want to DIY it because you're busy doing other things, these are your options.
Interject. All of a sudden, people are saying, hey, there's no sound, there's no picture. Could you try refreshing your screen, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I'm telling you, go to webinar today. Whew.
It's been like this a couple of weeks.
I know. It's just good times.
I actually asked the kids, I work from home, I asked the kids to stop playing Fortnite, so I feel bad. They're all sad. My son.
Aww.
The internet's good. All right. Well, anyway, so these are all your easy buttons, and I probably should have started with Property Boost, which is the next thing I'll talk about. And something that we've been recommending, especially for full brokerages, if you want a way to sort of put lots of ads out there for your specific listings and build your brand, if you have a big team with lots of inventory, definitely take a hard look at Core Property Boost. Basically what Core Property Boost does is it runs an ad for specific listings in Facebook, and it does the same thing our buyer ads do, where it fills a name, email, and cell number. It pre-fills it into a form on Facebook, and the person hits submit, and then they're pushed into your database. So to me, this is really cool. I mean, it covers a lot of bases. You're promoting the listing, right, which is what we all need to do anyway. You're generating direct buyer leads around that listing, so you know how to follow up. When the lead comes into your database, it's going to have a hashtag with the property address, and you call or text, say, hey, I saw you were curious about 123 Main Street. The other really powerful thing Property Boost does is it sends reporting to your seller, to your client, to let them know how many impressions and clicks are being seen on Facebook. So it's this whole like transparency and communication element to it as well. So if you go click on Property Boost, I'm just gonna enter random numbers in here, hopefully, and I'll just click use selected listing. You can see the pricing right here. You can do 1 week for 60 bucks, all the way up to 5 weeks for 240. Nice thing about Property Boost too is that it's not a monthly commitment. Our other options that I just showed you require a 3-month commitment, and it is month to month. We need the 3 months to sort of get the campaigns flowing and enough leads coming. But with Property Boost, you can sort of order this a la carte, one at a time, and it's only a $60 commitment. And the leads on this come in 30 to 50% lower than Facebook buyer leads. So if we're doing $8 nationally on our Facebook buyer leads, Property Boost on specific listings, we're actually seeing a lot of $3 to $5 leads. And I think the last I saw the average, don't quote me on this, was somewhere in the $5 range across the board. So really good thing to do if you are a brokerage with multiple listings or a large team with a lot of inventory. We can negotiate multiple listings and do this automatically for you for all your inventory. And it's just a great way to consistently drive leads and make your seller clients happy and close more of your listings faster. If you think about it, just more exposure. If you can document to the seller that you got a lot of impressions, you got a lot of clicks, but no activity, it'll help you justify price reductions, and potentially that could lead to you saving more listings or getting the price reduced faster. If we're doing this at scale, it could mean a higher close rate on your listings. Wow, I'm rambling there.
I do have a question. That was good, though. That was really good information. So Rick is saying, hey, can you switch properties midstream on a Property Boost? So can you edit something that's already started and maybe it closes, but you want to use whatever might be left, I guess?
I think if it closes, we'll do that for you, but I don't want to speak out of turn.
I'll double check right now. I'll see what I can find out.
Yeah, see if you can ask the marketplace team. But yeah. I mean, we'll definitely do our best. I mean, if it's a 1 week boost and it closes on day 5, we might have a hard time doing that, but we'll get you that answer. Yep. That's a good question though, and I'm sure they've encountered it already. Okay, so, but definitely try it, guys. It's like, especially if you have like a listing where the seller's like freaking out, what can we do next? Like, that's it. Just throw the boost on. It'll start sending them emails every day that they're getting traffic. It'll kind of keep them happy for a few extra days. We've all been there. I've been there myself, where it's like, what do I do to keep this guy off my back? And Property Boost might be a good option just for peace of mind for a few days. All right. So, you're driving me nuts, Alex. You have notes there. There we go. I was like, where am I? All right. So Property Boost, right there. We have enterprise. Multiple listings deals available as well if you want to do it for everything. What's the geographical coverage?
Yeah, there you go. I was about to say there's a question.
Yeah, geographical coverage is, I believe, all North America, anywhere we have a listing. So, and if you mean where do we target, we try to keep it as close to the listing as possible. I think it's within 1 mile. It might be 3 miles. The actual audience that sees the ad. Okay, so next thing I'll touch upon is the core team add-on. I won't spend a lot of time here, but we do get questions. One thing people don't realize is that as a team, you can sort of have your own, this is KV Core specific, not Conversion Plus, but you can have your own KV Core instance for your team that kind of exists within the brokerage account. But this kind of allows you to safeguard it, to have your data exist separately, have all the benefits of KV Core. But if you happen to leave the brokerage, not that you're gonna, but if you happen to leave the brokerage and you want to take your data with you, and you're switching offices in the future or something, you don't have to. It's not a lot of stress. You just keep your KV Core account, and then the parent office changes, or there becomes no parent office. I hope that makes sense. So I'll include in the document a link to a webinar that was done about the core team add-on. There's some additional features you unlock, as an admin of a team that gives you even more power with KV Core. And a big selling point of this, for those of you who are using our competitors, if you're using Boomtown or Commissions Inc., and it's a similar product, but you're paying that $1,000 or $1,500 a month, the core team add-on, you're probably going to be pretty excited about the pricing and the functionality you get there. The Property Boost, that great question, Liz. Liz is asking, can Property Boost be used on Instagram? I'm pretty sure we throw those on Instagram too, since all the advertising happens through Facebook's ads dashboard, and I'm like 99% sure that we include the Instagram placement. So yes, it is shown on both channels. Good question. Everything you guys are asking, we are going to make sure we get documented in the order process. Part of the reason I'm doing this webinar is so that as you click these tiles, all these questions are covered, and they're answered right there. So thank you for the questions. They're really helpful. Okay. What is next? Smart number add-on. Annalisa, I'm glad you're here because I'm going to bungle this one up.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so the smart number add-on. I'm going to let you do this. Do you mind?
Oh, well, I was going to make it a teachable moment, but sure. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
What are we looking at here? I don't have my screen ready to change anything.
Yeah, let's talk about what the smart number add-on is, and this is KV Core specific again.
I mean, to me, the unique thing about the smart number add-on is it gives you, the agent, or you, the team, to have your unique, distinct smart number to route information directly to you. So the whole gist of the smart number, like from the brokerage down view, is the smart number that's assigned when people sign up kind of blankets over the whole group. So it's kind of like an umbrella. And then you can have these different smart numbers within that can just sit over the top of a team, like a little umbrella under an umbrella kind of thing. But basically you have these little categories where you can have the whole blanket, which everyone can access and leverage that smart number, or you can get something unique to yourself or your team, which is really helpful with your advertisements and how you want to direct things with lead routing and so forth.
Yeah, to me, the biggest one of the biggest reasons to do this is specifically if you want to advertise your smart number for calls, for cold lead generation. Otherwise, the smart number that's provided will know if the lead belongs to you and the call comes in and so on. This just gives you a little extra advertising oomph if you want your own deal. Hope I explained that right. I know you did. So, all right. So
it was a good summary after I ran on and on.
Yeah. And how much is that smart number add-on? Is that 10 a month? Let's look.
I don't recall off the top of my head. I tend not to quote.
25 per month here.
There we go.
For the extra smart number. And guys, anything that I'm saying today, if you have questions about it, the chat button down at the bottom right, the team will always answer fast. And just don't tell them I gave you the wrong info. I don't want to get in trouble. But yep, they can always give you the right answer. Okay, templated website add-on. This is if you want to have multiple, kind of a different, another instance of KV Core in another market, I believe, right? So good way to put this, I saw this, I was reading this morning, is if you have, you're in one market and then you want a separate site for another market that's kind of configured for that market. Maybe you're in 2 states, for example. So there's a video there that explains that. The DIY WordPress token, and now we're getting into some fun stuff here. The WordPress token allows you to install the IDX search from your KV Core site onto a third-party WordPress site. So if I click here, it is $60 a month for the token and requires a little bit of work with the IDX agreements, I believe, especially if you're going to be using a separate domain for the token. But it does allow you to sort of have your own WordPress site and have a third-party developer or yourself make it look exactly how you want. So third-party WordPress token. We'll drop the PDF for you again, Kim, the notes. And then the next thing that we're going to address, and maybe I should have led with this, this is pretty new, but it's sort of something that we hear a lot of, is people do want more design options with their KV Core sites. And I think it was just pushed for everybody into Marketplace either this morning or yesterday. And that is the Agent Fire Spark sites that you'll now find in the Marketplace. So I'm going to take a minute. We had Diego on a few weeks ago to talk about this, but I'll take a minute and do my best to explain what they are. Basically, what Spark sites are is a branded, I'll click get this, it's a really pretty looking WordPress site that gives you the best of both worlds, where it's kind of designed out of the box and has all the functionality of WordPress, but you don't have to design it yourself. It's kind of point and click, easy to set up, while at the same time leverages the WordPress token that I just talked about. So it's $60 to get the WordPress token alone and do it all yourself. For $120, you get the WordPress token plus all the design. And what I'll do is I'll just go into the doc and show you a couple of examples of this. So let's click on this one. So,
and while that's loading, I just wanted to point out to everyone, we are recording this and it will be emailed out to you as well as sent via the intercom chat at the bottom right-hand side of your dashboard. And it'll also be posted in all of our discussion groups. So we'll make sure it gets to you for sure.
Yep, and guys, do us a favor. We did put the links to these sites in the document, these examples. Don't, these are actual agents. I didn't think of that. Just so don't register for their sites and so on. You wouldn't want that to happen to you. So, but these are examples here. A little bit different design. Under the hood, of course, is KV Core's IDX. All the leads go into your KV Core system. And a lot of the color schemes and everything else you see here, you can kind of configure really easily as you set up your site. So it gives you this hybrid WordPress dashboard that gives you lots of extra levers that you can push and pull to make things look how you want. So there's one. There's two. Make New Jersey home. Who would want to do that? I don't know. Sorry, I'm from New Jersey, so I'm allowed. All right. So here we go. Very similar. And let's see here. There's Morristown. Morristown's nice. All right. So that's another example. And then to read up on the Agent Fire Spark sites, they have kind of a nice little demo page here that walks through it more. And I think we'll have somebody from Agent Fire on either next week or the week after to talk specifically and give a full demo of how these things work under the hood, how they get set up. But just know that it's the new option here. If you're looking to have more customization on your site, but you don't want to hire a developer, this kind of gives you an easy button to do that. Cool, Annalisa? Yep.
Very cool. Sorry, I keep muting myself because I'm typing.
That's all right. Yep. And another good thing that I noticed with Spark sites, you can kind of see it happen on their own. They do actually give you some more CTAs, calls to action, and additional ways to generate leads and kind of like that we might not have built into KV Core. So also very cool. Like the exit intent CTA where you kind of leave and it shows a pop-up would be one example of that. Okay. Custom designs, I'll touch upon that link. This is if you want a third party to actually reskin your existing KV Core site. I know I can probably show an example of this from Shane, one of our success coaches. I'm not sure he used the same provider, but I'll show you an example of what that looks like here. So let's do that. SoCal Home Locator. So this is still a KV Core native site, but some additional stuff has happened on it to make it look a little more unique. So we have in the marketplace a provider, I think it's Cherie, right? Cherie Young.
It is, yes. And I'm going to see if I can find her website because I know she has one with some examples too, and I'll drop the link in here.
Yep. So where was it, guys?
It has a little flower. It's down. It's like a pink flower on there. It is.
That might be some KV Core template design. So there you go. So if you want somebody to kind of just reskin and have it not be an ongoing charge for the separate WordPress, there's a one-time deal that you can get with Cherie. And she's been working with us for a very long time and has done some really good work. So I can firsthand say that you're in good hands with that, that option. Okay. Let's look at Ideal Estate next. I had a quick tour of this. This is just kind of on the side. It doesn't necessarily, as far as I know, push or pull information from KV Core, but I'll find out here. But what Ideal Estate is really good for, it's kind of like a directory of agents. And I created a profile here, and I've been recruited a little bit, but that's kind of if you want to interact with other agents and you want to use Ideal Estate to recruit, it's a kind of a cool place, kind of like a Facebook for real estate that you can go to and check out. So it's asking me to set up my account here. I'm not going to do that. You can always go to idealestate.com and check out for your site. And as far as I know, it's totally free to set up your profile and things like that there and start using it. So we do have a tab to that in the KV Core platform. There I am. It knew it was me. All right. So just a peek at that. Okay. And then we have other kind of integrations, and I'll just say these really quickly, that you're able to tie KV Core to SkySlope, DocuSign Rooms, Dotloop, Testimonial Tree there. So they're not exactly, the functionality doesn't live within, but it's there. And I forgot one very important one, and I'll just make you guys all aware. You can now kind of integrate KV Core and bundle with BrokerSumo, which is a back office management and accounting system. And there's really cool stuff to that. I think we're going to have to dedicate a separate full session of these to not only BrokerSumo, but talking about accounting and tying, agent accountability features all the way through from lead to transaction with things like business analytics and BrokerSumo. So BrokerSumo is also in there. Give that a look if you're thinking about beefing up your back office stuff. I think BrokerSumo has a really good bridge with QuickBooks, as far as I know, and can also tie in with your KV Core info. And I know a lot of people really like that thing. So there's BrokerSumo. I think we're calling it Core Back Office now, formerly BrokerSumo. Well, that went pretty quick, and I'm happy about that. So guys, again, the idea with these sessions is to just explore add-ons and extensions to KV Core and Conversion Plus, guys. I'm sorry, UK Plus people, that I didn't show in your dashboard, but it's all very similar, except for a few things here. As you can see, you have the BrokerSumo and everything else. But the idea here today was to just kind of make you aware that this stuff exists, allow you to ask any questions that you might have about the done-for-you ad options and these different things. And then from week to week, we're going to drill down on some of this stuff. Like next week, we may really take a hard look at Agent Fire. The week after, maybe we'll look at the Google advertising. I definitely want to do one on BrokerSumo. And in these sessions on Wednesdays, we may also start to look at a little more technical stuff with respect to integrating with third-party things. An example would be using Zapier.com to shoot your leads into a slide broadcast for automatic voicemail sending. So this was the first webinar in this series. We figured it would be appropriate to kick it off with a tour of the marketplace. And if anybody has any questions right now, I'll stay on for as long as you guys want me to with Annalisa to answer them. Any questions at all? While we give you guys a chance to do that, I'll point out that all the replays of these will be at insiderealestate.com/webinars. And then there's always a replay link right there. We have hundreds of these recorded webinars already posted right here.
Oh, we have a question. It's a good one. So Kimberly's saying, well, where do we find articles to post to our social media? So Kimberly, are you speaking to maybe like community content or business-oriented content of which you want to share with your audience, right? So a lot of people will write, in fact, we just released a blog article today that should give you some good tips. So basically, it's just talking about engagement opportunities for you and your audience. So you've got your articles, like with the blogs, custom pages and so forth. And then you can also pair those up with like your squeeze pages and landing page generators. So you can create different types of opportunities to reach different levels of people, I would guess. Maybe I'm not explaining that correctly. What would you chime in with, Brian?
So yeah, actual pre-canned blog content. I know there are companies out there like Keeping Current Matters. I'm not sure if we have an integration plan. There's mysmartblog.com. I know somebody uses them and really likes them. So if you want pre-written content, there are services. If you want ideas for what to blog about, we've done webinars about this, but one good place to go is to start talking about featured listings and featured property searches. So you can do a property search of the day, do a blog post, and kind of editorialize a link to luxury properties in your market would be an example. So,
Yeah, I'm dropping an article, and this is good for either KV Core or K Plus. I believe the same articles in both sides, but I just dropped it into the chat, and it's really helpful. It's all about writing tips for blog posts. The ones I had the most success with, I used to write, I think 40 to 50 blogs a month for a team of 8.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot. But what I would do is I would always do 3 or 4 community pieces per one business piece. But I'd always include something like, you know, oh, this is going on like fire in the park when the firemen come out and they do like a big event. Oh, we're coming down here for fire at the park. If you're looking for homes in this area, click here. So I would always like build in some type of little back channel back on my website if they were like, oh, maybe I should look, you know. So you can include information like that to kind of include, you know, grab someone's interest and keep inviting them back.
Awesome. Another hack, if you want content that's already created, and this is totally legal and fine to do, just go to YouTube and like I can Google St. Petersburg, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'll do a filter and see what's been posted. I'll do it by upload date over here. And if we want, I might be able to find some cool local stuff, and you can embed these in a blog post. Now, I wouldn't just embed the video without anything else, but you can write a little paragraph before, maybe a little paragraph after talking about stuff. So there was a Bryan Adams concert.
And at the top there, I saw there was like a Little League like live feed. Sorry. And I used to know an agent who all they did was blog about the Little League scores. And then they would go to the ball field and give out caramel corn or popcorn. So they would be able to, you know, create this call to action where they're like, hey, if you're looking for the scores, if you missed it, you can go to my blog, you know, here's some popcorn and peanuts or whatever it is. But it was a neat way to engage with local folks whose kids might be playing ball with your kids, and who eventually those local folks are going to be empty nesters looking to downsize, right? So it's a good idea to try to, you know, get that relationship building.
Yep. So basically, steal YouTube content, but you know, if the person has embed allowed on, it's allowed, and just curate it, put comments before and after. But Kimberly, yeah, I think there has been talks. We do realize that there's a demand for pre-built content, and I know that that's on the radar to include for blog posting and other things. Question from Trisha: how can you get the phone number on the website to direct to your cell phone? That has to do with smart numbers, and if the lead is already in your system, it will route to you. That's kind of what we touched upon with the smart number add-on. If you want your own number that definitely always goes to you, if somebody just calls it, that would be the way to go there.
Right. Yeah. The way it works is if they're a registered contact on your dashboard on either platform, the system will recognize it's tied to you and direct it to you. Now, if it's a lead coming from the brokerage or the team, it's going to depend on perhaps their lead routing on how it lands with who. So if you want something unique to you and only you, I would definitely say get your own smart number.
Yep, and another point about that is if you make a text code, if that text code belongs to you, the lead will always come to you. So.
Right.
Cool, good question. So yeah, guys, we're not seeing any other questions. Again, this was kind of a kickoff to our marketplace add-ons session. We are going to be deep diving. I think next week I'm going to try to get Agent Fire, somebody from their team, to join me and really drill down on that. It's kind of exciting stuff, especially if you're a fan of WordPress. It just gives you so many more options with site design and some configuration things. So we'll be back next Wednesday. We always record these. Annalisa does a great job of making sure that they're posted to the groups and everybody knows about them. And that's about it.
Yeah, I'll never let anybody say I never gave them anything, right?
Right.
It goes out everywhere.
Yeah, it'll be everywhere. So thank you guys for joining us today. And we will see you if you go to insiderealestate.com/webinars, you can see the schedule. If you're KV Core, our success webinars are Tuesday. If you're Conversion Plus, they are Thursday. And then this one is kind of open to everybody here on Wednesday. And we'll see you on the next session.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.